Maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. That's what I keep hearing about aquariums. And guess what? I have to agree. So I had a 40 gallon. You can kind of see it through the door there. I had a 40 gallon and I was doing fine with my water changes using my Python siphon. I would clean the gravel, you put it in the bucket and then dump it. And then I would use my nice little, I don't know what you call this thing, the flower pot filler upper thingy, but this is what I use to put the water in. That worked fine for the 40 gallon. Now, when it came to this 75 gallon, that got old real quick. And so I know that Python makes a quick changing or no spill water fill up type of deal. It's about $90 on Amazon, and I was going to get it. And then I thought, hey, that still has to go kind of slow. So did a little internet searching, and this here is my water changing kit. And it consists of some high-tech equipment, such as a simple submersible pump, a digital thermometer, and some hose. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do in this video, I'm gonna go in real time and show you how long it takes me to do, I don't know, I guess say we'll do a 50% water change, or close to it on this tank. I got a little stopwatch here. I'm going to start the timer. Once I start the timer, I'm gonna go into the process. And so I guess we'll just get right into it. Okay, short version. I'm going to take the submersible pump, put it in the tank, pump the water out of the tank through the hose into the sink. Then I'm going to take a bucket and fill that bucket with tap water using my digital thermostat to make sure that the temperatures match, condition the water, then use the sump pump, put it in the bucket, and pump the water back into the tank through the same hose. However, there was some trial and error that I had to go through in order to get to this point, and I just thought it would be entertaining for me to share that with you. I first started off with this 550 gallons per hour submersible pump that I thought would do the job. I used 1/2 inch inside diameter food grade plastic hose that had excellent reviews on Amazon, but when I got it, the stuff was so rigid and hard to work with. Still, that's what I had, that's what I was going with. I was a little nervous about putting a submersible pump in the tank itself, but it was fine. The water flow was okay. City water kind of like beat it, so I knew that the pump needed to be upgraded. The hose, I just really didn't like the hose. It had to be clear because I wanted to make sure that I can see the water as I'm draining the water out of the hose, so when I store it, it doesn't have water in it. But all in all, setup was okay, but it was nowhere near as good as what you're getting ready to see on screen now. Now that right there, that Python, no way, no how it's gonna siphon that water out that quick. So the second pump I got was this 880 gallons per hour pump that was about 4 times the size of the previous pump. Man, this thing was kind of big. And so if I was nervous about putting a small one in, yeah, I was kind of really nervous about this one, especially turning it on for the first time. I just don't want to suck any fishes into the propellers or whatever. But I went on with the process and was very ecstatic about the water flow. It was great, just hated the hose. And so I got a new hose. And this hose is the bomb, right? This hose is the hose that you want to get. It's reinforced. It's clear as food grade. It's a little harder to see than a clear plastic one, but this hose is very flexible. It doesn't kink. I mean, it's easy to work with, and it was the ticket. I mean, look at that. Look at the difference. That first hose, I don't know who was reviewing that, but look at that, kinks. I mean, the stuff was just nasty. It just wouldn't curl up right, kept getting kinked up. You can see on the right side where the new hose is just laying flat and the other hose is just, it just sucks. And so I went through the process, checked it out, and it really, really was doing the job that I needed to do. Holy smokes, Batman. There we go. There we go. That's it right there. That's it. Holy smoke. this hose right here, so I went from a 1/2 inch to this 5/8 inch inside diameter, and that water, I believe, is sucking out faster than I can actually fill it up, and that's the next part of the video, filling up. Okay, so we're about at 50%, a little bit more than 50%. Turn the power off. The concept is to fill this bucket, get the right temperature with the, hot and cold, and then put the pump inside of the bucket as the water going to pump the water back into the tank. Also, I've been using my hand to get the temperature as I'm going, and I'm just kind of like feeling it. But I did get this digital thermostat. I haven't used it yet, so this will be the first time. I got that to kind of like put this down as a probe, and that way I can read what the water temperature is as it's going in. So we'll see how that works. Make sure that you put, some primer and some dechlorifier. This is a 75-gallon tank, so it needs 2 capfuls. I had this suction cup that held on like a tube on the side, a feeding tube, and it just so happened to be a little bigger than this hose, and so I just used a bread tie, tighten that up a little bit. That way when I put the hose in, I can suck it to the side, and then it'll hold the hose. So now I got the temperature back right, 76. A little bit of prime in this water. Stir that around. Now we're ready to go. Plug up the pump. Watch the magic happen. So this pump actually pumps faster than my water can supply it. So I have to unplug it. When I do unplug it, it's gonna have a reverse cycle. You can see the water coming back in. It's gonna have a reverse cycle, so it's actually pulling water out of the tank right now. But just unplug it for a little bit so the water can fill back up over the pump, and then plug it back in and start the process again. So I love the speed that this goes, but my water just can't keep up. But you see, I am maintaining a 76 degree temperature. I also have a digital thermometer here, and you can see the temperature relatively the same. We keep this tank at 76. Taking the water out, putting the water in, 76. If you look on the top, we almost filled, so I'm gonna stop the process. So as you can see, this system works out really, really well. I mean, it took me 2.5 hours to change out the water in the tank, just going back and forth. So yeah, for a smaller tank, the Python works just fine, carry your buckets. But if you have more than one tank or a large tank, then I highly recommend this system. I'm not the first person who did this. Of course, YouTube showed me. So I really appreciate you all watching this video. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then make sure you subscribe. Also, leave me a comment in the comment section if you know of a better or faster method to actually changing water tanks. I am new at fish keeping. I love the hobby, but it is some work. But they said if you find the laziest man and give him the hardest job, he will find the easiest way to do it. Now, I'm not lazy, but I love being efficient. If you haven't hit the bell, then make sure you do that if you want to be notified for any new videos that I upload in the future. Thanks again for watching. Until the next time, 8.